What are we saying, people? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. We've got a big one today. For those of you that enjoy lifting weights, but you want to also progress your running, we're going to be breaking down every single run that I'm doing in this current training block. How much easy mileage, threshold work, tempo work, how I'm fitting that in around the strength training I'm doing in the gym. We've got a recent PB of 16 minutes 30, weighing 88 kilos, and we're still in the gym lifting weights regularly. It can be done, and it can be done effectively, and that's what today's video is about. I'm going to be taking you through a full week of training. We're still grafting, working hard, but going into a bit more depth on the types of runs we're doing, how you can apply that to your actual training week and see progression fast. So look, we continue the graft on our journey to competing at the highest level we can with Hyrox, but a lot of useful information for you lot today. So that being said, let's get straight into the video.
I'm so tired of playing with this bow and arrow. Gonna give my heart away, leave it to the other girls to play.
We are back, new week, more training, preparation, building towards a half marathon, building towards Hyrox. The work continues, but I'll be real with you lot, yeah. Legs, bit cooked. Big week of training last week. Monday is always like a down day for me regardless. I don't know if any of you watched the last video, but we kind of ended the week with Saturday being a big day with park run plus additional mileage, big leg session in Hyrox circuit, and then on the Sunday we had our long run and our erg intervals. And I feel like towards the end of Sunday, the leg soreness started to catch up a little bit. We don't feel awful, but works quite well that we've got an easy day today. We're going to head to the gym. We've had a big work block this morning, setting everyone up in the hybrid 365 team with their programs and their plan for the week. By the way, if you want to get absolutely rapid, lean, build muscle, you should without a doubt join the team. But we're now heading to the gym for a big upper body session. We're going to go hard today, and then we're going to be doing aerobic easy work. Monday's the kind of one day that we don't actually run. Apart from that, we are running pretty much 6 days to the 7 days of the week. He's calling me. Not much, mate. I'm just on the vlog.
Like you're always just sitting in the car. He's sped up and he's just right next to me, so he won't let me go. And then I'll sped up again to get on, and he sped up.
Great John on the beat, by the way.
Introduce him to the club. Running with him, then you ducking with him. Better make a move or you get hit. Ain't no Uber chopper, make him live. Boy, don't act stupid, I'll take a risk. Ain't no pick and choose your whole clique. Gotta get it when we catch him, it's lit. Look, when we catch him, it's look. Your bitch hurry, got the juice. Now she wanna sip, roll up a spliff, I'm back and I'm gripping a tool. That's your homie, get shot up with you. Too official, you know that the gang with it. They don't love me, just look for what came with it. Couple seconds we here in the game, when it's still the same, you know ain't no change in us. You can't hit the block without a strap. You be lucky if you made it back. What's a big dog to a cat? Don't get me pissed off, it's a rap.
My camera's in the car because we got a quick turnaround. Football match has been called off on the Tuesday, which means it's time to go out and get the run that we actually had scheduled in if we didn't have a game, which is a bit of a hard run to be honest. But we're going to get this run done, and then we had planned a session, upper body session with the bro. Now this jacket here is an absolute game changer from Hot Suit, mate. It actually keeps you so warm. The weapons of choice today, I can't lie, these are actually a bit finesse. The sword canoes, but it's wet outside, so these are kind of like the shoes I've been using. The weather's not great, but I still need to get a faster run done outside. I'm probably going to get a new pair of these. I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know. I did a recent Hyrox race in my Alphas, and I do rate the Alphas highly from doing a track sesh. I love the Alpha flies, but I also do love these trainers. But yeah. Get it, 3.2 kilometers warm up, nice and easy. Let's get this moving. Right, so boys, that is the warm up done, 3.2 kilometers. The run, I'm going to try and break it down now off memory because it's on my phone. Obviously I'm recording with that, but 3.2 kilometer, nice and easy warm up. It's then a little pyramid system, so it's 200 meters at 255 per kilometer, 400 meters at like 305 I think, 800 meters at like 310, 1200 meters at 320, then 1600 meters at 330, and then you come back down the pyramid. In between, we're going to be doing active rest, see how we go with that. The initial plan, which I put in for the athletes in Hybrid 365, includes actual walking rest, but we're really trying to see how our body responds to having longer sessions, varying intensity, good speeds, but without complete rest. So our rest periods, which are like 60 to 90 seconds, even 120 seconds, is going to be all ran at like 5 minutes per kilometre to 5:20 per kilometre. It's very wet, it's very windy. Let's see what we can do, lads. I'm just going to stretch off, do some dynamics. Lads, first 200 and 400 done. I can already tell you, it's going to be a long day. Cold, windy. Body's a bit stiff, you know. Cumulative fatigue. Let's keep it going though. Yes, people, session complete. We need to do our cool down still, but I think that was like 8.5 kilometers of total work. And you know what? Like, the second half is crazy. I've spoken about it before, but with where we've built our fitness personally, from the football background, it's translated to the point where we can do repeated intensity really well with any type of complete rest. Like, we recover fast. Bearing in mind, like, we don't actually feel great today, to be honest. That session was tougher than I thought it was going to be fair. And I think it was down to, for the first half of the run, as we built up the pyramid, having active recovery where we were running at like 5 minutes to 5:30 per kilometre. That made it a lot harder. But that's what we need to be doing, like, for our Hyrox and to improve our ability to like sustain higher output and recover while moving. They're the sessions that we need to build. So really happy we got that done because it felt tough. It was one of them that didn't feel great, but it feels even better now we're finishing it. So we're just going to jog home. It's probably going to be like 13 kilometres to 14 kilometres of total run work. And then we're heading to the gym. Upper body session with bro, which we'll get later. Little physique check. Where are we at? We are slowly leaning up. We are dropping body weight just for the running and stuff like that. Butter honey combo. Keep yourself on there, like. Get yourself on the bread. The quick turnaround honey butter sandwich. The key is thin slices, because then we're going to fold it. And that is called the quick turnaround. Carla. Right, so lads, we're in the gym, but it is very busy. Push strength, we're going to start with a slight incline bench, dumbbell press, some heavy dips, flies. Big run this morning, man. Had a little bit of time to recover. Missed the session with my bro, some of my ones, and the gym's busy. Like, it's way too late to what I'm used to. And I hate busy gyms, I actually do, but we've got the camera out and we're just going for it. So let's get into it, man. Incline bench.
Heading for the city lights. 975. We sharing each other, nearer than farther. The scent of the lemon drips from your eyes. We are the people that rule the world, fussing in every boy and girl, all rejoicing in the world. Take me now, we can try. We live the adventure, love in summer, follow the sun tonight, reminiscing of the times of
I really can't be arsed today. Body's feeling it. The feel is good. I'm looking at the puddles out there and it's raining quite heavy. Oh, for fuck's sake, I don't want to be. Yes, lads, we're back out here. We're running again. Like, for those of you that want to actually improve your running, become better athletes, whatever it is, it's these days that are actually the hardest to be consistent with. So everyone wants to do the fun workouts or stay inside on the treadmill. Where, let's be honest, like, treadmill is a big ego boost, unless you're on a curve. When it's wet, rainy in the UK, it's either, I see a lot of people doing their hard runs or all their runs on the treadmill where the adaptation just ain't the same, or just neglecting the easy stuff, because again, like, sometimes it's the easy stuff that mentally is harder to get out and do consistently. But anyway, mind over matter, and it's about what is optimal for your goal. And I could easily do more of my runs on the treadmill without the 1% incline, like most people, but I will know deep down that I'm just cheating myself. And ultimately, when it comes to whether I'm doing my Hyrox race or whatever the goal is, I'll know that low-key, I didn't do everything properly. Now we're out here. We're out here. And there's no one else out here. So I don't have to walk past people and say, good morning, and then look away. But it is literally just us. We're doing it. We're doing it. No one can hear me. But yeah, we got the layers on, got the layers on, slayers on. Right lads, we are now in the gym. Music's loud, we got a little Hyrox session going on, but we're 15 minutes through a little zone 2, 20 to 30 minute bike, and then we're hopping into some ergs. Really low heart rate, easy day today because we've got a big day tomorrow. Then later this evening we'll be back for an hour to 90 minutes on the bike, but lots of work getting done today, a lot of work blocks, and we're kind of spacing in the sessions in between. So yeah, let's finish this warm up, or 20-30 minutes, zone 2, and get into the ergs.
Didn't I give you everything?
Number 3, boys.
I tried my best just to be a man.
Oh, my lats, my upper body.
Didn't I do
So we're doing 1 minute race pace at like 150, 500. Normally I go a little bit faster, probably wrongly to do so, but 2 minutes easy at like 158 to 2 minutes per 500, and then another minute at race pace. So 4 minutes working block, rest a minute, probably do like 8, and then same on the row. Fucking hell. Session done, lads. That was alright, you know. I like that session. Kind of made that up as we went. But yeah, probably do that again. Alright, lads. Session done. I enjoyed that, you know. The heart rate there is messed up, man. I didn't have my strap charged, the Puro strap, and it just weren't working for a bit, which is a bit annoying. But I really like that, you know. Like, I know I said about how like doing tempo type efforts in our runs is important, but I thought, why not apply it to the ski? We did have 60 seconds rest, and that was because, not because it was like super duper hard. Like, I probably could have like done that for 40 minutes straight. I feel like that would be a good session, a harder day of training, but because we've got some key runs that I need to make sure I'm hitting each week in this progressive block, I don't want to overload an easy day like today by like just trying to push a session where I don't need to. But yeah, I enjoyed that, man. Annoying that the heart rate there is kind of messed up. We've got an editing session, and we're going to do some more check-ins for the Hybrid 365 team. Boys, for those of you that wonder like what I do on a day-to-day basis, by the way, I do social media and videography for different businesses, obviously kind of combined together with my online stuff, semi-pro football. So yeah, it's kind of all mixed together, but I enjoy it, and it's all gives me the flexibility to train in between like work blocks. But generally, like, I am working from the morning to the end of the day, and sometimes when especially when I'm pushing these training hours, it's hard to motivate yourself to, like, as soon as you get home from a session, to be on the laptop working. But I enjoy it, man. We're grafting. Yes, people, we're back out here again. More running. Today we've got a little tempo effort. Now the training block is building up, and I'll be honest, I'm looking to next week's loose plan. All my scheduling is kind of loose just because with football and everything like that, like matches midweek, how many minutes we play in the matches, how we feel determines what we do on what day. But in terms of like the key sessions that I want to make sure I hit each week and the mileage I want to try and hit, that all kind of stays the same. But today we've got like a tempo effort. It's essentially 300 metres on, 300 metres off, 300 metres at 3:30 pace, 300 metres at 4 minute per kilometre pace, and we're just doing that 8 to 10 times through. Nice long warm up. Like our warm ups and cool downs are a good tool to like build up mileage as we kind of push towards that more of a half marathon build. But I'm seeing, obviously today we've got the 300 on, 300 off. Next week it's 1k on, 1k off. That is a big jump. That's why in my head I'm thinking, shall I make it a little bit harder today? Obviously I've sat down and I've programmed all my runs specifically to progress, and the importance of this week is, see, we've upped our weekly training time. We need to let our body adapt. We're not going to be feeling as fresh as we are hopefully next week once we've adapted a little bit to it. Yeah, like I said, today on paper doesn't look crazy hard, but the way the plan and the way I've set out this plan is, this week is more about adapting to the load and the types of runs we'll be doing. Obviously we had a big stimulus on Tuesday with that run. That was tough. And just general our training hours with the bike work, everything else we're doing, have been increased. So accumulative fatigue this week is going to play a factor. So it's just getting the body used to tempo efforts, type of training we're doing. Next week will be tough, but this will probably be tough today because we've had a big week so far and we're still adapting. And that's why on paper it doesn't look as hard. So we've got about a kilometre left this warm up and then get into the session. Off we go. For the rocket. 3:30 to 4:10. Rolling 300s. 8 to 10 reps. Come on, the boys. The boys are into the thick of it now. Halfway through. This is challenging because the rest, or aka rest, is actually quite fast. Here we go. Next 300. It's actually fucking always windy around here. That felt tough, man. Like, me and tempo runs just don't go well. I can just feel like that's what I need more of. You know what I mean? That's what I need more of to be good at Hyrox, to run a fast marathon and all of that. So we just got to keep building. And next week it's so tough now, man, because it's essentially a very similar session, but 1 kilometre on at like 3:25 to 3:30, 1 kilometre off at like 4:10 again, I think, times 4. So the only thing I'd say is that is being done early in the week after our rest days. So we'll see how it all comes together, man. But glad I got that done. 6 kilometres total working. Obviously around 3 kilometres warm up, and we're now going to do a little 1 kilometre cool down jog. So let's get it. And just like that, we are back. We have just got a trim. Bloody hell. That trim was long overdue, and do you know what? It feels like I've just been in the trenches training. Like, I've had my cap permanently on my head, which, by the way, I just love a cap. And I do get worried that people think that maybe it's because my trim is awful. Maybe you think my trim is awful. But I feel like I've just been in the trenches. I've been out running in the rain, in the cold. I've been in the trenches in the gym. No trim, just wearing the cap. But we're finally back. I can't lie, I am as pale as anything right now because we haven't seen sun in God knows how long in the UK. But yeah, it feels good. Got a trim, then I run. We're now gonna get home, a little bit of a work block, some refueling, then to the gym. So it's now time to head back to the gym, and we were in the gym again for another pull session. So you can see that this week, and for the last few weeks, I've been back to following a push-pull rest upper body gym split. Now, would I recommend this to everyone? Probably not, especially if your focus is on improve, get fitter, faster and better with your running whilst building muscle. A lot of the time, especially when I get to the later stages or in the middle of a training block, I will swap my upper body strength days for full body or full upper strength days, just to minimize the amount of time spent in the gym, still hit each muscle group 3+ times per week, but it also gives me time and it allows me to allocate more intensity to the running sessions. But right now, in the early stages of a training block, when a lot of my work is lower with intensity, we're doing more easy runs, easy bikes, I enjoy using that little period to also go hard with my upper body, longer upper body days, more intensity with our upper body, to essentially try and build as much muscle as possible. Right, so people, we're back outside, more running, 10 kilometers easy today. Wasn't able to record much yesterday because we had our tempo run in the morning and then football training in the evening. Football we covered like 5k, so total run volume yesterday was like 15-16k. But yeah, we're out now, 10 kilometers easy before potentially a football match day tomorrow and then long run Sunday, so works quite well. Nice easy recovery day today, and then football match tomorrow if it's not called off, and a big day of training. But we're going to get this done and then head to the gym for some upper body strength and a little bike session, so let's keep it moving. Also, quick mention, massive shout out to Hot Suit, sending me loads of clothing. You've not seen me in gym stuff, but like this for example, outside running, so warm. It's got like an internal layer. It's an actual like hot suit pretty much, but I'll show you in a bit. But right, so people, whilst we finish this training week, do the strength session and just finish off a big week of training, I wanted to go into a bit more detail on my mindset when it comes to progressing my running, and when I work with the guys in the Hybrid 365 team, how we kind of plan their running sessions around gym and just in general to see the biggest and the best progression possible, and hopefully give you some pointers of things you can apply to your actual training. Now look, you've probably heard the magical phrase periodization flying around social media. For me, periodization is so important, and it's something that you not only need to try and follow and have structure to your training weeks and progress your training weeks, but you need to understand why we're doing it, because there's so many mistakes people make. So as you can see from our training, we are in the initial phase of a training block where a high percentage, probably like 70 to 80% of all of our training volume is done at the lower aerobic zones, lower heart rate, easy runs, easy bikes, and especially for you lot that are trying to build up your tolerance to running, whether you come from more of a bodybuilding background, you're a heavier athlete like myself, or you're just trying to, again, begin running more, you're gonna have to go through that process of trying to get in aerobic volume, build run fitness. But sometimes that can be hard because you run too much and your knees, your joints are absolutely fried. And that's why I honestly do back things like the bike, the ergs, where you can get the same type of stimulus and build your aerobic base at a really low cost to fatigue levels and again like joint pain or whatever it may be that's holding you back. And you'll see, even someone like myself that can run 6 out of the 7 days of the week, I still am on the bike all the time because you really can't do enough aerobic volume, and it's all going to pay dividends later on in your training. Where people make the mistake of just throwing in loads of intensity straight away, not only is that not sustainable, and if you haven't built up your ability to run more, it's going to lead to injuries, joint pain, whatever. Also just the running economy and the actual ability to get the harder sessions done. If you haven't built up that aerobic volume, you haven't built that ability, you're not going to be able to complete the sessions with control to actually progress how you want. So look, phase 1, aerobic base building, very, very simple. We're then going to progress into more of a focus on threshold. Now it doesn't mean, and it's not rigid in the sense of just aerobic work in phase 1 and then just threshold work. We're just going to slightly alter the percentages. So where before in the aerobic phase we'll be working 70-80% in the aerobic zones with a little bit of threshold and getting closer to the high end of speeds, but not much at all, we're now going to start adding a higher percentage of threshold volume. Now threshold is the pace that you can run at sustain, where your body can actually clear lactate fast that's being produced. So it's comfortably hard, but it's sustainable. People get it wrong by just running too fast, and because threshold sessions typically in an interval format, it ropes you into going hard and just trying to hang on. But if you run too fast and you're building lactate fast and it's being cleared, you're getting closer to redlining or VO2 work or speed work, you're not going to be getting the correct stimulus. Now, your threshold ability and the speed you can run whilst maintaining that and staying in with your threshold zone, for me, is one of the key metrics and indicators of how fit somebody is, and especially for your race PBs, specifically Hyrox and any other type of running race. If you can bump up the speed you can run at while still clearing lactate and feeling relatively in control, you're going to be all round smashing PBs and just improving fast. Now the final phase is where we add a bit more specificity. So whatever your goal target is, whether it's to PB a 5k, 10k, whether it is Hyrox, we're now going to add a bit more specificity and a bit more intensity again. We're now going to try and raise your speed ceiling, because if you can feel controlled and comfortable running faster, then of course when you pull that back slightly to what your actual target 5k pace is or your Hyrox run pace is, it's going to feel even easier. Now of course by this point we've built a solid aerobic foundation, we've built strength foundations, we've slowly progressed the speed, and we've nudged up the speed you're able to maintain and stay in threshold zones. You're now in a great spot to actually hit these sessions. You're prepared, your body's going to be able to cope with the load and the additional intensity. Now look, there's not like an appropriate or a set amount of time you should spend in each period of this training structure, but again, aerobic work, you can't get too much of it. Threshold for me personally is like that sweet spot where you can get to the point where you can do a lot of threshold volume without it absolutely killing your body compared to VO2 and speed work, where you might be really sore the day after, 2 days after, and you can't really push the volume too much when it comes to that. So depending on what your goal is, if it's Hyrox, a lot of the athletes actually spend a load of their weekly mileage when they're running in threshold zones. They do their easy work on the bike or more so, and they don't really do too much VO2. That's not their main focus, because the speeds they'll be running at in their race is mostly and primarily their threshold zone. So again, this is all, and it all needs to be specific to you, but just as a general rule of thumb, this is kind of my thought process when it comes to creating a running program, my running structure, and how I've been able to progress fast while still being a heavier athlete, while still lifting weights. Now look, if you want something in more detail, you've got any questions, go to my Instagram, DM me the word hybrid. I'll send through a real specific and detailed hybrid training guide on how to progress running alongside strength training. And of course, if you're interested in taking it a step further, get involved in the Hybrid 365 team. We've got some insane progress and improvements going down. That being said, people, sorry for the waffle, but for those of you that are actually looking to apply and improve in their training, hopefully that bit of waffle and this bit of waffle has helped at least a little bit. With that being said, thank you for watching the video. We ended the week by having a football match Saturday, which we got a ton of mileage, played pretty much the whole game, and we did a long bike Sunday because our body was so fatigued from the football match. But week done, we keep working, we keep training hard. I appreciate anyone that watches these videos. With that being said, drop a like, subscribe.